Soon it will be the holidays, meaning hundreds of games will get deep discounts. As always, my backlog is filled to the brim with unfinished indie games, but I've managed to play at least 10 great eShop games worth a recommendation. This time around, though, this will mostly be a list of RPGs and puzzle games, but still great finds nonetheless. So let's get started with my first game. The first game is one I am very glad I came across. Fuga, Melodies of Steel. This game, I don't know why Nintendo never got this game a spotlight in a Nintendo Direct. Made by CyberConnect 2, this game stars a bunch of anthropomorphic kids living inside a giant sentient tank. It's wartime, and troops have kidnapped their parents. They find this tank and drive it to tank out enemy troops. During battles, 3 characters can attack per turn, with 3 other characters offering support for additional benefits. If you're about to lose, you can fire the soul cannon to instantly win the battle, but that means you lose a party member permanently. Outside of battle, you can do tasks such as harvest crops, explore dungeons and upgrade the tank. There also is a friend system similar to the Fire Emblem series. This game has a good ending and a bad ending, and unfortunately, you'll have to find out what you have to do and spoil yourself to not have to play the game more than once. It is an amazing RPG, and Fuga 2 is slated to come out next year. Next is Wonder Boy. Asha in Monster World. This isn't really an indie game, but certainly plays like one, even though it's a remake from a game released in 1994. So game follows Asha, a young girl striving to become a warrior. It's a 2.5D action-adventure game where there are foregrounds and backgrounds that you can move across, especially in the town area. Slash enemies with your sword, use items like bombs, and get assistance from a Papelagoo. You have a health meter and a magic meter, the latter which can allow you to unleash a magical hit that deals more damage. Of course, it's something you should save for boss battles. You can either speedrun the game and take out anything you see, or take your time if you're a timid gamer. Nice, clean visuals make this a polished game overall. A pixelated tactical RPG, Call of the Wild Lynx, is the latest in the Mercenaries series. You play as Irvin as he assembled a band of mercenaries to help overthrow a tyrannical kingdom. Yep, it's one of those games. The story is there, but the gameplay is more interesting. With 8 playable characters, you upgrade their abilities and classes with the skill tree. You can even exchange items for rare items and armor. Truth be told, the previous games have this all, but the new addition is horse mounts, where your units can move faster and take more damage. It's got nice artwork with appealing color choices. If this is your first Mercenaries game, then it will be quite a blast to play, but if not, then don't be in any rush to pick this up. Zombie Rollers is a pinball RPG hybrid. Hit the ball using your flippers at the enemies on the field. It's much easier than it seems though, and it's much funner. It's very satisfying to sling the ball at zombies. You also can unlock many different powers and abilities that relate to the ball, the flippers, the cannon you use, all that. This is also a rogue RPG, so one playthrough is 4 maps long. They encourage you to beat the game multiple times to continue unlocking rewards and characters. There should be 10 or 12 characters total. It's an enjoyable game even though you kinda wish the visuals would look better, and the sound effects, like the coins and other things going on, can be more limited. A card-based RPG, Deep Sky Duralex offers campaign that seems quite meaty on the surface. With comic book-like visuals, battles play out fluidly with one character looking like they're actually fighting the other. So the gist of the story is that you work for the government and you explore abandoned space stations to collect data. These stations you explore are dungeons, and there are many points of interest in each dungeon including shops, NPCs and bosses. You can recruit party members and find and unlock a lot of gear for them. Guns, shields, armor and other utilities. I recommend this game if you're itching for a traditional dungeon-style RPG like Phantasy Star. If it goes on sale for $8 like the time when I bought it, get it. Available for just $2 and was said to have been made in just a 24-hour span. Words with Freds is a Wordle clone through and through. Guess the 5-letter word in 6 tries. Since the launch of the game, the developer has added sound, music, and many customization options from colors, background, and more. Some of the color choices can be confusing in which you're not sure which markers correspond to the right letter status. I'm not quite sure how many words there are because I have come across some duplicates, like I get the same word within a number of problems. It's still a good game to pass the time, such as if you're on the pot. You can either use buttons or the touchscreen. It's probably much faster with the touchscreen. Pathway is a rogue strategy RPG. You drive from point to point in a caravan, reaching the X at the end of each map. For half the time you play, you're caught in battles with enemy parties, where you have to kill them all to collect their loot, gas and resources in order to keep going. Yes, you need to keep collecting gas, but you'll rarely run out unless you forget to collect more, so mostly this won't be a problem. You choose 3 party members with their own abilities and gun types. There are 16 in total, and you can have a 4th member join your party if you find them on the map. What's neat is they keep their gear you gave them until you recruit them again. I'm impressed with the shadow effects in this game when characters move around light sources. For $7 or less, Reluctive is a first-person puzzle game. In this story, you play as a scientist tasked to use a newly found technology to uncover mysteries of a lost base. This is a PC port, and it surprisingly looks great, though not without the gameplay being much slower. Unlike similar first-person puzzle games, this one has some personality to it, albeit it tries to be too edgy with an unneeded amount of profanity and ladies that direct their bad tempers at computer voices. There are 3 different stories and you can pick whichever one you want at the start. There's even a camera mode, but one can argue that the effects actually make the visuals look worse than better. Lens flare, for example, is so bad that the light is very noticeably pixelated. This isn't another certain game I have on this list, no it is not. But it's definitely a curiosity I strongly recommend tinkering around with. Eichenfell is an amazing RPG that's almost like a spiritual successor of the Mario and Luigi RPG series. In fact, if this was the gameplay that Paper Mario, the Origami King had, it would be a much more enjoyable game. You play as the sister of an academy student while you go and look for her along with her friends. There are 6 characters total, each with their own powers, and along the way, you buy new gear to make them stronger, but you'll tend to be doing this more than you feel you should. The gameplay itself is like the hybrid between your typical strategy RPG and Mega Man Battle Network. The graphics are quite colorful, and at times the animations can be really surprising. The music is also pretty good, up until you start to hear vocals. In fact, this game is pretty much a game made by and made for feminists. At least most other aspects of the game make up for the politics because it's still a phenomenal game. And lastly, Neon White. I can vouch that this is a wonderful game. The gameplay is solid, the drums and bass music is terrific, and while there's still some juvenile themes, the story is still well tolerable. So your character and his friends are all sinners that died, and heaven holds a tournament to kill demons where the winner gets to stay in heaven. The gameplay gradually picks up, and sooner than later you'll be flying around levels trying to kill enemies and reach the end. The balance of the game, however, is off. You face one boss early on, and you don't fight the other 2 until the very end of the game. It's nice that this game is on Switch, and you can certainly have a good time with it, but the PC is where you can have more freedom of movement. But frankly, this could be a $40 3DS game and still look and play as well as it does. So that's 10 games that I have played and enjoyed in the past year. Try to find a good deal this holiday season.